The question that everybody asks around this time is, how could Rabbi Akiva's students, his 24,000 students, not follow his direction? Rabbi Akiva taught, "V'ahavta l'recha kamocha," love your neighbor as yourself. Ze klal gadol b'Torah. This is a great principle in the Torah. The tradition tells us that Rabbi Akiva's students did not act in a respectful way towards each other, and due to that, they ended up dying in a plague. 24,000 of them. So why didn't they follow Rabbi Akiva's guidance? That was his catchphrase. That was his main teaching, one of his main teachings. I like to offer that they did. Perhaps they did follow what he said. They did love their neighbor like themselves. But they didn't go beyond themselves. Loving your neighbor as yourself is an incredible thing. But the Torah wants us to go a step further. To be with somebody who's not like ourselves. To love them. Somebody who's suffering. Somebody who's vulnerable. Somebody who's in pain. To extend ourselves to that place and be with them. Somebody who doesn't have the same means as us. Be with them in that place. That's what Rabbi Akiva will want us to do. And that's what his students perhaps didn't do as well as he did. And perhaps that's why they're critiqued in our tradition. Rabbi Akiva perhaps learned this from his wife, Rachel. Rachel saw the young Akiva full of potential. He was in a whole different place than she was. He was an ignoramus at that time. He was a shepherd. He was not observant. He even hated the rabbis according to certain texts. But she extended herself to him where he was. Very different place than her. And she forfeited money. She forfeited the wealth of her father. She forfeited her connection with her father to be with Rabbi Akiva. By doing so, she lifted up Rabbi Akiva and helped him become the Rabbi Akiva that we know today. And Rabbi Akiva modeled this in his life too. It says here in Masechet Nedarim 40a, it says that Rabbi Akiva saw that the other students were not visiting somebody who was sick. Perhaps it's connected to our students that we're discussing here. He saw that they weren't visiting somebody who was sick, so he went and visited himself, that person who wasn't feeling well. And he helped that person get better. He cleaned up the room, he made sure his conditions were tip-top, and in the end that individual said, Rabbi Akiva, you brought me life. You healed me, you brought me life, Rabbi Akiva. And based on this, Rabbi Akiva said, anybody who doesn't visit the sick, it's as if they shed blood. So again here, Rabbi Akiva extended himself to somebody who nobody else did. And this person, who nobody else extended themselves to, and this person wasn't feeling well. They weren't as healthy as Rabbi Akiva, but Rabbi Akiva didn't care. He went to their place, and he was with them, even though they weren't kamocha, even though they weren't like him. They were more ill than he was. A final case is in Baba Metzia, 59a, b, and 60, where we learn about the case of the Tanur Shalachnai, the oven of Achnai. Rabbi Eliezer gets ostracized from the community, and Rabbi Akiva says, I'm going to go speak to him. Because I don't know if anybody can do it in as sensitive of a way as is needed. So Rabbi Akiva went to him, he spoke to him in a sensitive way, and in the end, Rabbi Eliezer was able to internalize what Rabbi Akiva was sharing. This is the ultimate extending of oneself to somebody outside of one's circle. Rabbi Eliezer was outside of the community, he was ostracized. Rabbi Akiva nonetheless extended himself to that individual. I think there's a powerful message here. It's amazing, it's beautiful, it's wonderful to love your neighbor as yourself. And that's Rabbi Akiva said, Ze klal gadol b'Torah. It's a big principle in the Torah. But there are details too. That's a principle, but there are details. And those details include some of those details I share with you from Rabbi Akiva's life. And the idea of being there for somebody else when they're vulnerable, when they're scared, when they're in pain, when they're lacking financially, emotionally, spiritually. Extending yourself out of your comfort zone to be there for them. If we do that in this time, perhaps we'll be able to elevate ourselves, elevate those around us, and help rectify the sin of the students of Rabbi Akiva. May it come true in our days.